The next award winner is Dr. Albert Land from the Department of Physics. Congratulations, Dr. Albert Land. Well done. We would be delighted if you would share with us some of your secrets of excellent teaching.
What did he do that is so great?
Yeah, exactly. And he's so young.
I heard that he went out of his way for the students.
I wish I can be him.
To be honest, I was not always a good teacher. In fact, I used to get very poor responses and bad SETL scores from my students.
Really?
I still do.
Students used to avoid my class. They thought I was boring, and to be honest, I was boring. I have found myself using the same old teaching techniques and assessing students in the same way, and I guess the students noticed. But there was one particular time I was having a lecture with my second-year students. I had told them in the previous lecture that I was going to give them tips on what was going to come up in the exam. So I was expecting a full house. Anyway, I went into the lecture. It was very full. I started telling them some of the revision stuff, and then we went on to the exam tips. Normally, they would just be pleased about that and write all the information down, and that would be that. But on that particular day, students were very alert. One particular student, Tom was his name, put up his hands from way back in the room and asked me in a very demanding way.
Sir, why are you assessing us on that? What is that to do with anything? In fact, isn't this a physics class? Why are we not learning how to apply these physics theories instead of just memorizing the equations and definitions?
Oh yes, that's true.
I was surprised that the student was so outspoken. I didn't have any answer. I didn't know the answer, and I tried to explain, but it didn't really make sense, not even to me. And I did what some of my old teachers would have done. I said, well, do you want the tips or not? And ignored his question.
Yes, we do.
But inside, I was mortified. Doctor? Assessment can drive learning, so it's important to align the assessment with what you want your students to understand and to be able to do. Failure to do so can generate a lot of problems. Let me give you an example.
What do you think, Doctor?
I have never practiced to operate. Let me check from the book.
What?
Well, it was not part of the exam. The exam was multiple choice questions. And actually, I'm afraid of blood.
Would you trust someone to operate on you without even being assessed on their clinical skills first? Finally, I just want to say, don't assess because you have to. Assess because there's a reason, and align the assessment with your learning outcomes and learning activities. Sir, I think I'm ready for my driving license examination. Shall we get into the car now?
Oh no, we don't need to get into the car. You know gasoline is so expensive these days. To cut the cost, we have substituted the driving test with essay writing these days. Driving license will be issued to you once you pass the written exam.
Wow, that's easy. I can write. I know all the steps for the written examination.
Yes, the passing rate has increased dramatically, and everyone is happy.
Well, I think the accident rate has increased exponentially as well.